This afternoon we're going to take a quick look at my customer Charles's OE Dodge front shaft. A lot of times I say caught in the nick of time. If you watch any of my videos on these CV shafts or any of these shafts that I fix and repair work, and a lot of times like the CV, you know, I take it apart and all the needles fall out or something, and it's what I say is it didn't hurt the trunnion. Well, unfortunately, this was not in that category. It did chew into the trunnion, and that's what it looks like what happens to it. That's supposed to be round, half-inch diameter. That's what happens to them when they get so far that the needles just start chewing into that. That's the trunnion. That's the liner that the ball rides in, and you can see where that missing material is the ball chewed out completely through the liner, and the ball rides on that trunnion and it articulates like that back and forth as the drive shaft's spinning at an angle, and that's what the centering device is. And it chewed so far that it got into the casting on the far side. That mark you can see right below my finger, it chewed through the liner and made into that. So that yoke there, that's the socket flange yoke, was cooked. And so that I just wanted to highlight that. Not picking on Charles, but I say that it's a lot of these is caught in the nick of time. This one unfortunately wasn't. So what did I do to fix it? So it's got a new ball stud yoke, a new one of those guys. Two new 1350s, boot kit, ball kit. The socket flange yoke, I had another casting that was in good shape, and it was just an orphan, so I put a ball kit, a ball kit in that. I'm sorry, I'm still dragging a cold around. I can't barely talk, which is a blessing, some people say. So that end's all set. It's all good again. And as I always do, clean the slip yoke out. I sandblasted this. Clean the slip yoke out. You can see it's got a grease fitting in there like standard. This is the face spline drive Dodge thing that they came up with, like an answer to a question nobody ever asked, but you know, it is what it is. Once again, typical OE stuff, filthy with weights. I took all these weights off this shaft, plus one more of these guys right here by my thumb. There's two of these on the slip yoke, and the rest were on this tubing. Kind of nutty. Turns out, when you put the weights where they actually need to be, you only use like 1/3 as much. Huh, go figure. So that's all new. 1350s at this end. 795 snap tight down at that end for God knows, who knows why they use that U-joint, but they did. Internal clip and a Dodge. Good one. Well, if it's 7290 series, that would have been more appropriate because that was a Dodge joint, but that's Mechanics 3R, so you know, who knows. Anyway, that's water under the bridge. So she's tuned up now, and it's going to live to fight another day. That's 2,500 RPM right there. 0 at the transfer case, nice and flat. 0 at the rear axle, actually front axle. Boot kit, the slip yoke's got good red grease in it, grease fitting, and I put a factory style band clamp back on it, so that's a win. Overall, she's mint again, and I'm gonna get this painted up and back to Charles. And there's also a rear drive shaft with a slip yoke dilemma that we're gonna correct as well.